trying to win some support of the crowd. Whether that'll help him or not, who knows? But I'm sure it's exciting for him to play in front of a stage like that.
Yeah, it's a new experience, right? And probably one he hasn't had yet, obviously. So yeah, there's going to be some nerves. Obviously, like the pistol round is always a little bit crazy. Like aim feels a little bit shakier, so he'll settle into it, I'm sure. And as we said, he's played a couple of events with his team already, so some of that kind of confusion and the uncomfortability that you get playing with a new roster for the first time, it's all worn away for Maxter. So as long as he can deal with the crowd, with the pressure of playing in front of the fans, which he should be fine. NiP ENCE, and we have ENCE starting on the offensive side of Nuke in this quarterfinal. As the desk said, winner of this goes on to play FaZe tomorrow in the semifinal for a spot in the grand final. Ooh, that was a lot.
That was a lot, a mouthful, and perhaps that's exactly what NiP will receive of lead. As Snappi is at the front of the attack. Config actually gets a double outside of A main. That is a massive opener from the Ninjas in Pajamas. Now the retake is on for NiP, and it's 3 in from heaven. The nade's ready as well. All 4, in fact, coming through the heaven side now. Dropping down into the side. Post plant is set up by Snappi and Madden, and Snappi has the distraction. Sets him up for a lovely double, and now Rez left in the 1v3 total. Has got a kit for some extra time. But all these ENCE players know they just need to drop back and not give him that opportunity. If he sticks it, that could have been a factor, but he is looking for that fight. Madden gets the information. He's no longer on that defuse, and it's starting to come into territory where Rez will not be able to win this one. Vladin and Madden sitting further back in a comfortable spot, not letting this one go the other way, and NiP will not be picking up this pistol. It's ENCE that have the first of this quarterfinal.
Yeah, great post-plant setup. NiP tries to spring that retake, but Snappi's just in such a prime position and a difficult spot to clear out in the pistol round as well, where you don't have the utility, don't have a Molotov, don't have a couple of nades you can bank in there either. It went out towards the planter. Good job from Config, but you can just see how difficult it can be retaking, even in a man advantage. Even when Config gives you 2, when the site is already secured and the post-plant positions are strong. So ENCE take the pistol round, and a couple SMGs on the board, couple of rifles as well. Full buy for NiP in round number 2.
Yeah, they've gone for the force buy, and this attack out from Snappi at the front with a MAC-10. Applying pressure, forcing that ramp player to run away, but Maxter can't get far enough. The MAC-10's already here, and that's the B-bomb site cracked open.
Yeah, now they can just put utility down. There's a follow-up smoke over towards Decon. Config going to be blocked off by smoke. They hear the door open. He's going to pounce through. Yes, he will, but not in time to stop the plant. Just a second too late, and now the round is firmly in control of ENCE.
Yeah, you might even consider the save call now for NiP. You don't have the kits available. You don't really have a chance back into this one. Might as well take those pistols and scouts into the next round. Hope you can pull something off there, but that is going to be the 2-0 start for ENCE.
Yeah, and it's a very nice, simple call as well. Just a ramp rush with the pistols. Obviously, you risk kind of running into a little bit of a stack in that part of the map, which can be popular, but keeping it nice and easy, allowing the MAC-10 to use its mobility and its speed to get the entrance. And followed up with some good utility work. So 2-0, and NiP going to bring a scout and 2 deagles forward into the next round.
I think Config with that pistol, and obviously that round as well, showing some confidence, being aggressive through the door, trying to make the difference. He has been kind of a shining light for NiP in this tournament. And when Config's playing well, sometimes it can be a hot and cold experience to Config, but when he's playing well, when he's up there, the team becomes a different beast. It was the same with Astralis back in the day. Now it's the same here in NiP.
Look, it's been the story of NiP as well. Like a lot of that inconsistency on an individual level probably stems a good amount, I would imagine, from the inconsistency in the lineup that they've had,
especially
over
leadership.
Yeah, and leadership changing as well. So especially with this addition moving forward of a new in-game leader, hoping that Config can get back to finding that consistency, because he is a high-impact player when it's all working. Vladin gets the opening kill. Upper bomb site is lost once again. Nice, simple, easy calling from Snappi and ENCE, and upper rush, and they're having no difficulties managing the situation.
Yeah, this is what we've got used to over the years watching Snappi play. These simple but effective calls, and he's got a team to do it. They're very effective in going for that upper bust. A lot of these players capable of entering, and Rez, what a shot on the deagle.
Damn, well, they need to protect that. That's an AK-47 on the ground, so Snappy's got to step up.
Could
One more for Rez.
going down.
It could be, but Snappy's got it. There's more to find, and he's alone in protecting this, but that's a beautiful headshot.
Yeah, Snappy's fragging out. Here he is, lining them up, shutting them down, and it is going to be ENCE left alone, taken out by ENCE. So we head into the first gun round. Now, something we noticed from ENCE at the start of this tournament was the lack of DH resulted in Snappi having to take more of initiative outside, and he was fragging out in that opening game. Sure, against lower opposition, but it'd be interesting to see if he can keep that up against NiP.
Yeah, and you'd imagine they'd have a couple of tricks up their sleeves to help kind of sort of negate that when we switch over. a couple different setups with multiple people. There's that nice shot from Rez. Now, 2 AK-47s did get lost. The one from Sunpius and the one from Snappi here at the end. They weren't able to recover those, so 2 rifles hit the deck, but ENCE is going to be more than happy with the ease in which they've started out 3-0. Opening utility salvo from both sides. A little bit of chip damage on a Sunpius and Vladin. Nothing to write home about.
There's Nerds with the opening. ENCE have the man advantage already.
And that's something we saw on the group stage. Nerds was looking for that fight into the upper bomb site time after time with his AK-47, just getting a position over in dark to peek into the bomb site, and that's S-tag to take an early loss.
ENCE can take quite a bit of map control with limited utility, and because of that opening kill, it applies pressure onto NiP, feeling like they have to take some control back. So Rez's play does not work out.
They have no one outside, so they have no information on how much progression. They just hear utility. Yeah, this is wonderful. Oh, ENCE is just, Jesus. NiP just played right into their hand. A little bit of pressure outside, and because of the lack of information, it forces everyone to make a move. Because obviously, as we all know, when you start to lose outside, kind of the typical response is that lobby crunch, is to take over lobby, take map control elsewhere, and ENCE is just waiting for it every step of the way. Great round from Nerds, the opener on S-tag, the rotation over to Squeak Door to find one more on Rez's aggression, and that makes it so easy.
Yeah, NiP clearly are not in the zone at the moment, so timeout straight away here in the playoffs. You have 4 timeouts. We're going with those CSGO rules, not playing with that updated version of the timeouts here. And for NiP, they definitely need it. It feels like they're completely off tilter at the moment, and that is going to allow ENCE a 4-0 start. Not only that, but the money is starting to build exponentially.
Yeah, it really is. Another anti-eco as well. You imagine NiP with a losing bonus building up, going to at least buy some armor and upgraded pistols, but
these games come too easy.
Yeah, way too easy. But if we look at how ENCE has played these rounds, fast-paced, rushes into the bomb sites, rush it to upper, rush to ramp room previously as well. Let's see what they go with here in round 5.
Now see what NiP have up their sleeve. Is there an aggressive maneuver? Is there a lobby crunch or an outside hit? Glaive smoke goes out. That should allow Rez to cross safely to front secret. You'll watch those double smokes come in. Those Henry G smokes that they've been coined. They're going to be lining up in combination with the main smoke. So Rez has got himself towards secret. But it's going to be cleared out by that Molotov. That's going to force him into the open. No one on top of Silo, close to Red to punish him. But it does force Rez into a position where he has to fight.
Interesting, though. I mean, if he tucks himself in, they might not expect this position as they move up. Sunpius is a little bit dangerous up on top of the boxes, so they just get Vladin into position to play a late lurk. He doesn't have to do anything for some time. The rest of ENCE is going to be the ones to make a move, and Vladin is going to try and exploit that after the fact. So this is all down to how patient Rez can be.
And they were touching on the desk about Vladin and perhaps some nerves that have come into it. We've definitely seen that in the group stage. It's only going to get more difficult to manage your nerves as you get deeper in the competition. And perhaps he'll not clear that close box position, and that's exactly what happens. In fact, Rez gets aggressive, catches him, and that was an AK-47 to play with, but short-lived in his hands as Madden and Snappi start to bring a couple of kills back, and they'll cut through those pistols. They'll make sure ENCE have 5, but Config trying to make the most of his flight through the smoke, and it's just stopped.
Yeah, another good shot with the deagle from Rez as he clears the outside corner. But nothing can be built upon after that. Those pistols, not enough stopping power to hold back the flood of ENCE players coming out of Squeak Door. And it's just Maxter, hoping to get an exit kill, hoping to grab a rifle right at the end of the day. 5-0 start for ENCE.
Yeah, it hasn't been competitive. Sure, NiP, they didn't even have a gun round here, of course. But even when the rifles are out, that was the least competitive round. They lost no one on the ENCE side. Max are trying to keep them on the site. Doesn't have the kit, so it's not realistic. Ninja, but they're panicking. They're running back into the site.
They really are.
It's actually working out for him. He gets another kill. Maybe he'll catch Snappi to the bomb blast here, and he will. So 2 extra kills on the way out.
That's great. That's actually really nice for Maxter to bring that back. I mean, one kill for him, 1 kill on the bomb as well, taking down 2 extra players where it wasn't necessary, and that's that new gigantic bomb radius coming into effect. Even though he had no... Ooh, that's a good reaction. That's a snap over. But here was the flood out the Squeak Door. And P250 and Deagle just not enough to put a stop to it. Good cover provided by Madden to help Snappi activate for some opening kills. And we get back into the guns. Hedrick's got his AWP this time around.
Yeah, to Frag as well, so he's certainly going to be looking for impact at round 6. Outside smokes deploy immediately from ENCE. So this is going to be in space to Sunpius. Just making sure there's no boost coming in here where he can be caught off by possible purchase of the AWP from Hetrick. Now he'll clear Heaven. The one weakness of these smokes is around that Heaven and AC unit, so he's having to look around, doesn't see too much.
All right, they've sent Vladin into the big garage. Nertz once again in a position to maybe just pick off a cheeky kill. Yeah, but he's confident. Nertz had a great group stage as well.
Yeah, no one really was missing in the group stage for ENCE. Perhaps Vladin, sure, but that's kind of expected.
I mean, this is a solid position. Once it's similar to the last one, just obviously way more advanced being in big garage, but you pause and you wait for your timing. You have an advanced position, so that can be a fast flank they don't expect, especially if all the attention is taken towards secret. Vladin can really slip past the net.
Yeah, difference this time is NiP are not offering up any of these opening kills. It looked like Config was about to do so onto Nertz, but the timing does not work in Nertz's favor. So he backs away. And now Rez getting aggressive into the scope of Senpai. Shadow detected. That gives the Alper all the time in the world to take that kill. Now Snappi running up through ramp, trying to split his teammate on this ramp room setup, but it's Hetrick that's held. And Maxter in with one, but the Vladin flank activates late, and that's nearly a collateral from Senpai to end the round in one shot. But it is the warning shot for ENCE. He'll fall away, and ENCE will take 6-0.
That's so perfectly played from ENCE. They did everything right in that round. The way they crunch it, Snappi even being sacrificial to take attention away from the players coming through the smoke towards ramp room, and then you have that late activation of Vladin's position in big garage to shut down the op, to allow the bomb to progress into the site, and another great tactical victory from ENCE. 6-0.
Really impressive stuff from ENCE at the moment. Not really going into complex rounds. And I mean, if you're playing with a stand-in, and obviously when you have Snappi as an in-game leader, it's kind of the perfect style right now for ENCE, and it's working out exactly how they would have imagined it. And this is a great point that was brought up by Maniac on the text before this. And even if Snappi is on the way out, you still got Snappi in the team right now.
Yeah.
And obviously the in-game leadership, it's no comparison against an interim IGL of ENCE.
Yeah, he's got them playing very, very well at the moment, even with all the chaos within the team. And that's a beautifully constructed round. So NiP still searching for answers. A second timeout called because they are getting destroyed on this map.
No one's fragging out at all. I mean, Config had a double in the pistol round. Since then, he's had one kill. And no one else really anywhere near.
3 of Rez's kills are deagle kills from eco rounds or force buy rounds as well.
So just not getting kills in gun rounds. So you've only had 2 NiP purchases when it comes to the full rifles, and none of them competitive. And if that keeps happening, they're only going to be sitting around 4K, 3.5K average.
Well, the real thing that NiP has to talk about during that is part of the reason why these kills aren't coming out. Man, there's just so many shadows in CS2, aren't there?
It's
How many times have we called that out this week that we don't see in CSGO in just like these different positions? Shadows showing all over the place. But, I mean, ENCE is controlling this map. They're really forcing NiP to play the game that they want, and they're ready for all the counter moves that are happening. So if you're NiP during that timeout, you might want to start thinking in the next gun round, get a little bit aggressive somewhere. Try and deny something from ENCE. Try and take something yourselves. Try and dictate the pace of the round, at least in the early going. We'll have to find out. ENCE going to take this one cautiously.
I love that you have the freedom and you have the player in the form of Nerds to just try and get openings. Just let him fight. He's done it out of HUD a couple of times now. Ramp, this fight goes down. This time, Vladin will win it. The glaive smoke outside to allow the cross to Seeker is a telltale sign there could have been a player in there. And Vladin goes ahead and clears out Rez.
Yeah, he's looked much sharper in the early goings of Nuke than he has previously through the group stage. And I think a lot of it is ENCE is kind of sending him alone. It's being like, don't even worry about trying to work with us. Don't even worry about it whatsoever. We're going to set up utility to get you in good positions on your own. M4 is up here. Good distraction from Config. Oh. There's the M4. Silence. And ENCE's got a triple. Sunpius has to tuck into a corner. He's got Config strafing over and can't transfer in time. And it's all on Vladin.
ENCE's on for the ace. He's got all 4 kills in this round, and Vladin was last detected towards outside, so perhaps they'll consider Heaven soon. But ENCE isn't looking this way. And so now the stand-in has a chance to clutch. A clutch on the stage, a clutch for his side, and he's got the first on ENCE. Maxter picks up the AK-47. Vladin looks to lock it in, but goes for the fight, and it was a battle of the stand-in, and Maxter comes up on top.
Yeah, great shot from Maxter. Immediate headshot as well, but a beautiful round overall from ENCE. Helped out, good bait inside the bomb site. No Molotov towards his position, not enough attention towards his position, and ENCE could never find that trade.
It felt like Snappi was probably the player to check the CT vent, but he was distracted by the peaks that were coming out towards the back of the bomb site. Perhaps even seeing 2 players there, which allowed him to have to focus there instead of the CT vent, and ENCE makes the most out of the few bullets he had inside of that M4A1S.
3 kills with a tiny little mag.
Yeah.
That ain't bad at all. Molotov going to be extinguished. This one's faster pace, but Snappi's already gone down. Finally, the AWP of Hedrick has something to say. And Vladin in mini quick wasn't called out fast enough. And all of a sudden, Madden's now going to make a play. Config caught out in the open, and the upper bomb site is compromised.
Yeah, ENCE don't give you enough time to celebrate, man. They're back in this again. Speed is the name of the game, but Hedrick pulling out some pious Maxter from heaven, and it's just Nerds alone. A 1v2, he's certainly capable of winning these kind of rounds.
And he knows the position of both defenders. Hedrick was in secret with the AWP, Maxter up in heaven.
A full belt of utility, and a lot of time for Nerds to work this one. Relatively high health, too. And he's waiting for a mistake from NiP that would turn this into a 1v1 fight, and he can do that because of the time.
Yeah, he's hoping someone's going to wander into his crosshair, obviously, but the more time this goes on, the more he loses track of those positions that were called out previously. So at this point now, you kind of have to assume you don't really know the location of your opponents all that well. They could have shifted, they could have moved. There was time for Maxter to make a flank all the way towards lobby, so Nerds has everything to consider.
So Maxter will reaggress through heaven, but he's not alone. He has got Hedrick in behind them. Both players in from heaven, Nerds directly below them. This can be a very strong position, but Nerds would have liked to have been a lot more accurate on that first kill. If he had got that instant kill, he probably would have been able to transfer. And Maxter, oh, there we go. The AWP does blow down. He'll win the clutch again. Another 1v1 for Maxter, and this time recovering the AWP.
What a legend. Recovering with the nade as well. A few tricks up his sleeve, this stand-in Maxter.
He's doing very well. I mean, that's 2 big clutches.
Yeah.
In back-to-back rounds to win both rounds that NiP have picked up.
Yeah, he really secured it. Not even the final kill. It was probably the one on Madden over towards Squeakdoor that really saved the day.
This is a 2v3 recovery as well. You know, ENCE had the opening kills. They looked very strong at the start of the round. And there's that AWP being saved on over. Lightning strike back in the hands of Hedrick. And round 9 kicks off.
Yeah, still so much money for ENCE though. NiP was starting out in that 0 to 6 hole means a lot of funds for ENCE. So NiP's got to come back into this the hard way. Now some aggression from Rez to deny these kind of outside lurks from Vladin that they've been experiencing. Wanting to shut that down. Oh, not able to do it. Vladin wins out on this fight.
Yeah, Rez is getting kind of beat around by Vladin. Multiple times now, Vladin's won that duel, and he's got the space towards outside again, and this time towards secret. And we've seen him become an important late piece in these rounds for ENCE. And once again, back to that slow default. Get some control outside and then slow it right down and wait for NiP to get a little too desperate and they'll walk right into it. But Hedrick this time with the AWP is starting to find impact. That's Snappi down. The AWP is coming back to the ramp to help with Maxter, trying to stop them exit the ramp room. And that Molotov will finally force the NiP players further back.
Yeah, but it's also given safety to get into the lower bomb site. Nobody shifted downstairs. Everyone shifted to cover outside, which means the retake is going to be very difficult. It's going to come from ramp room as well. No one wants to go vents considering how compromised it is. If they do, surely they're dead to Vladin.
Yeah, it's a worrying time here for NiP. Difficult to find the pieces and how to get back into this retake scenario.
Oh, S-Tag's
it feels like you have to go through the vent, and Vladin immediately executes Essetag. Hedrick's having none of that. I'm not sending my AWP down there.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Once you don't have vent to rotate through, that drop down is so dangerous. And I'm surprised to see S-Tag really challenge it when they kind of, when that smoke fades in ramp room, they had that avenue of a retake, but everyone had shifted off of it. So NiP, just by positioning, just by the fact that they never rotated anyone downstairs, they chose to defend outside instead. They're out of position to go for this.
And Vladin's on the hunt now.
Hell yeah, he is.
This could be absolutely massive if he even takes one of them away, but the bomb...
It's on the hunt to save his own life.
Denies.
Yeah.
I love how the stage is actually set up like the trophy.
Yeah, that's actually a cool looking stage.
Very cool looking stage. I remember back in the day as well, this is an event you attended, they had a sick looking stage there too. It was like graffiti themed.
They had the hype beast like all over. There was like the giant stage wide hype beast painting.
Yeah, CAC Perfect World definitely put on a great show visually over there in Shanghai. And right now, NiP looking to try and make this a bit more of a visual show. 2 rounds collected off the back of 2 1v1s by Maxter. But other than that, ENCE have certainly looked like the more dominant team. They've won more than half of the rounds available in this first half already, ENCE. They win this round. NiP's money is once again back to that 3.5K, 4K average. Standard smokes being thrown, actually a little variation this time, much deeper from ENCE. That's a cool way of doing it. It leaves credit card open, so you're trying to fight that credit card player.
Almost trying to lure him into a peek, being like, it's available. It's available to you. Vladin, oh, he spots it out. Rez is in some trouble now, but Config bails him out, spam through the smoke. Massive, massive kill from Config.
Yeah, that's nuts from Config.
And Vladden's been a thorn in their side outside a number of rounds, so it's a huge kill to find. And now Config can go wrap around Secret and present a new angle of attack for this defense.
50 seconds left in this round. Resmoke comes down at doors, so Nerds does not have that gap. Instead, Madden goes for the peek. And Nerds took damage, I believe, through the wall on that shot from Headtrick.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Damn, that was close to a ridiculous kill.
Now they know the position of the AWP as well, and it's going to be hunkered down inside the bomb site. So rotations, the mode of rotation for that AWP is going to be everything. Good pop-up from Maxter, 1 for 1. And again, they progress towards the lower bomb site. Still one lurker outside. That's Snappi taking his time.
Yeah, it looked like that crouch timing was not going to work out for Maxter, but he's still able to get one out of it. Config is rotated down here already at the double doors. The fight from Snappi on that lurk does not go his way, and Config stops the plant. He doesn't get the kill on Senpais, but deters him from planting, and a misclose shot from Headtrick. That's going to be a kill going ENCE's way, and they desperately need it.
Yeah, but they're stuck inside the site. This is going to be near impossible. Oh! What a shot!
What a risk from Senpais to open the door, but man has confidence, and he's got the skills to back it up. No scope to the face, and now 1v2 for the Spaniard. Senpais looks to shine. Nate goes forward through the doorway. He'll run back to the double doors, steps being heard, flash being set up. He goes for it again, but that defuse has gone all the way, and Senpais does not get it in time. He doesn't get the peek. Config defends his teammate, and Rez pulls off the third.
This time NiP's downstairs, and we saw Config stop the bomb plant, but 2 players downstairs inside the doors, 1 over at ramp room, and there's just no way for ENCE to find any comfort in their positions. Had to take a massive risk. Senpais with the incredible shot almost alleviates it, almost takes it back into their favor, but unfortunately, the other player with the rifle just not able to find anything. Madden not able to find a good spot to defend anything, and his big risk goes the other direction. Upper rush with MAC-10s.
Here they come, flashes out, Vladden at the front of the attack. It's absolutely wrecked by ENCE on the initial hold. And Config realizes no one's got outdoor. Utility slowed this one down.
Yeah, but they didn't commit everything. They didn't commit everything! Config sees him just as he's coming out. Madden busted.
Oh
this time, though, Snappi gathers all of his courage and makes the run.
I can't believe he has the gall to go for that.
No bomb. He's just taking some attention. Just applying the pressure.
Now the outside play, Senpais needed to sink that one, but doesn't. Rez comes through with a kill, but remember, Snappi got down lower. Now he's coming up the vent, and Rez detects that, locks him in, and it does look a little strange in the end. But Nerds is left alone. This doesn't look like a winnable 1v4 for him. Yeah, that was slipping out of control of ENCE for a while, but if Senpais had been able to get that kill outside onto Rez, that might have been able to bring them back into the round. The fact that he missed it makes this almost undoable. Nerds left in a 1v4, picked off by Headtrick's AWP. And NiP, this is not a bad recovery mission. Now, because they started so slow, it's never going to look pretty. But if you're going to rattle off 5 of the last 6 rounds after starting down 0-6, that ain't bad. Giving yourself a chance moving into the second half. This half definitely could have been a lot worse for NiP. ENCE kicked it off with the first round that they were able to pick up with that 4K out from CT Vent. And Maxter coming in with the clutch in the following round, and it has given them a platform to build off. But look at what they've done to the ENCE economy, finally breaking it down so they have a mixture of rifles and pistols. When I say rifles, I mean rifle. Senpais has the hero one.
Yeah, singular. And he missed that kill earlier.
Dead.
There it goes.
Immediately.
Yeah. Config, NiP's been great at having this rotation towards the hall to support ramp room, but Nerds ain't gonna miss anything. Picks up the AWP off the body of, or the AK off the body of Senpais and drills Config. So 4 on 4.
It's a little unlucky actually here for ENCE to not have a double entry there in the ramp. They get Maxter down to 1 health. So very close to getting that second kill, but Rez coming back, spotting them walking through hell. He'll come from that with his team. Let's watch the CT defense adjust accordingly, but that's an important fight to win for Nerds. That opens up the chance again to further this for ENCE.
Yeah, but ENCE can chew a little bit more time off this clock and reposition because now their movement has been tracked. They found Config, Rez spotted them underneath Heaven, so the defense now knows that the Heaven wrap is a very real possibility that they can position for. They know ramp room 1, Maxter had already dropped down, probably don't know he's only at 1 HP. And they're going to go right at him, right at the weak player. And then it's going to be on Headtrick and Config to find a way to shift downstairs.
It's almost impossible to see Maxter get more than 1 kill here. Nerds on low HP might be available, but that is going to be it. The trade is in from Madden. Shot in the lobby is won by Headtrick against Vladden. And now a 2v2 set up off of the back of that. NiP have no other option. They have to attempt this in the last round of this half. They have to go for the retake, and they've got utility available. This time it's Essetag and Hetrick. The one-bow combo coming through the decon door. It's Hetrick with another quick shot on Snappi, and Madden left alone. 11-5 in this half. He's been an absolute monster again for ENCE, and he looks to try and close with a clutch. Defuse being stuck through that smoke. He's not getting the position. He's not getting it, and that's Hetrick right through the smoke. Nails it for 5 at the half for NiP. What a recovery from the Ninjas in Pajamas.
Yeah, started to figure it out a little bit late in the day, but enough to make this really, really close affair. 5-7. They would have liked a little bit of a better start, but they'll take this. I'm scratching my head that 2v2, Snappi's decision to swing outside the smoke for the fight on his own.
Yeah, it's a little strange, but I don't know. I really can't tell you why.
Yeah,
but
I feel like he could have maybe played behind that smoke a little bit. Maybe he's worried about it blowing open, but that swing in a 2-on-2, playing it individual, is that one made it a lot easier for NiP to deploy the Molotov towards the window, deploy the smoke towards the door, and get a nice, easy defuse. Other than that, this round, ENCE fought really, really well for it.
Hetrick started finding a lot of impact. I don't think he was sang his praises in this half enough, but some really impactful AWP shots coming in once he got that AWP out. Yeah,
it certainly started to dictate a few things towards the end, but I want to give most of the credit over to Maxter. He won those two 1v1, or the 1v1, and he got the kill in the 2v1 retake and the ensuing round as well. So his performance in those clutches is really what got NiP going, what allowed them to kind of stabilize this half, build up a little bit of money, build up a little bit of a streak, and turn the tides.
And not being a liability at ramp, which so often can be a problem. But here we are, 7-5. ENCE from 6 in a row to 7-5 at the half. Would love a pistol to try and extend this lead further, but NiP realize they have a chance here to close the gap.
Both stand-ins being parked over in ramp room on these CT sides. Here comes the upper hit. Madden with the opening kill. Nerds turns away from a flashbang, comes back with the dualies, but blinded again. So Rez gets the trade. A 2-for-2 trade until Config adds another one onto the board, and Sun Pius can't get into cover. So here you go, Vladen.
Oh, we see Max to win a clutch from heaven. This time it's Vladen's turn. Hasn't been able to win a clutch yet, but he's got close to them. Here's that plant coming in. Now he'll start to come back in. That was the chance on Rez. He goes for it again, but now he's missing shots. Now he's not getting that kill, and that's going to allow Essetag to come out and help his teammate. That'll be the pistol for ENCE, or rather NiP, and the scoreline should actually be tied up at this point.
That's one of those fights where you're getting so frustrated that you're not getting that kill onto the player in the bomb site that you're just like, you're just really committed to fighting it, because you're like, wow, why is he not dead yet? Yeah. Surely one more bullet will do it.
USP body shots like,
surely just one more will do it. So pissed around to NiP on this T side. They continue this little bit of a run they're on.
Yeah, unfortunately for NiP, that momentum will be cut short just for a moment here. We have got a technical issue, so we're taking a pause to try and resolve this one.
4 straight for NiP going back to the first half. 6 of the last 7 rounds in their favor. ENCE has hit a little bit of a wall. Despite the pissed around early on, the engagements going in their direction. Madden and Nerds with 1 apiece, but it's Config, as we mentioned, that guy who can provide so much impact for the team, getting all the important kills.
We're interested for the future of the Ninjas in Pajamas. This is a story of waiting for one IGL to go out and one IGL to come in. And ENCE obviously waiting perhaps for Snappi to make that transfer that's rumored. And for NiP, obviously, we know Alex is sitting in the wings waiting to get into this team.
It's so funny because, like, I mean, it's not really all that funny, but it is a little bit funny when you consider, like, all these, like, rumored roster changes we've seen. We just saw Nico kind of reverse course, go back to G2.
JKS is out.
And the whole, like, Liquid situation, as far as I know, and as far as it's been reported thus far, is all verbal. So many of these roster changes are, like, these verbal agreements that are, like, yeah, they're supposed to be happening, but we actually don't know if they're going to happen. Like, there's a world in which Snappi stays in ENCE.
It's smart for the players to just do verbal agreements from now, see how things shake out.
Sure.
You know, under a certain condition that players join. You don't want to leave your team when you have a good thing going if you're not going to be playing with the likes of Nico, if you're not going to play with these top-tier players. So, you know, you look at this ENCE project and you see a really solid team around you. You've got Nerds for the future. You've got some Pius as an AWPer. ENCE have so much talent here. So Snappi is certainly a chance he holds out inside of this team now that those roster moves are kind of broken down at the Falcons. But here we go, round 14. Technical issue resolved, and in classic ENCE fashion, they've gone for the force buy here in the CT half. This could be a chance. But the positive side for NiP is, Jason, if they win this round, if they stop this force buy and don't sustain a lot of damage, then they should be actually taking the lead in this game.
Yeah, should be kind of off to the races, feeling a little bit more comfortable. Senpai is blinded, just firing off some blind shots into the smoke. You do have Snappi over in secret already. That was one thing we'll bring back up again, because you talked about it at the beginning of the first half when ENCE was on the T side as well. Snappi playing this outside position on defense and how effective he was earlier against lower tier competition. This is going to be a bit more of a challenge for him, but he answered the bell previously.
And I want to see Senpai perform better in the second half. You know, CT opping could be much more impactful, you would assume, on paper. And Senpai, when he goes into these playoff matches, he goes to a next level. He goes up in next gear, an extra motivation, an extra percentage is unlocked inside of his brain.
A lot of that's going to come down to NiP's utility usage. How good are your smokes outside going to be? How good are the flashbangs going to be to force him off the angle? Mini smoke going to be fading shortly, but they do manage to cross over it before that happens. Oh. And Senpai just gave up the angle outside. Oh, now he spots it. They've progressed so far.
Oh, he goes for the jump shot. I like it. It's confident, but it now, has given up position.
Now they have to try and push lobby. Now they have to try and get in towards hot. The longer they wait in this upper bomb site, the more in danger they are of this wraparound, and nobody's addressing it. They don't have the weaponry to address it.
Oh, this is not looking good for ENCE whatsoever. This is going to come down to a huge failure of firepower for NiP, and that isn't going to happen just yet. Config and Hetrick coming in with a couple. Now Madden springs that attack into the lobby, but gets caught by Maxter defending that hut push, and it's just Vladin left alone. He may be able to pick up 1 or 2 here on the 5-7, and even that, he should have sunk that kill on Maxter. Can't believe Maxter gets away with that on 3 health.
Yeah, he probably thinks he tagged him like once in the leg and just couldn't find the kill, but Maxter dodges all the bullets with that little jump out. 7-7, NiP have tied this up on their T side.
And this is going to be frustrating for ENCE, because you may look at this and think this is a very competitive game at the moment, but the scoreline may be even. But ENCE had 6 rounds in a row. They were up 6-0, and now it's 7-7.
Well, it's competitive now. You probably don't feel like it should be competitive with the way you open things up. Things have really kind of slipped away from ENCE.
It's been a game of streaks.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. Ooh, a little bit of a jump from Madden, almost cost him his life. Unarmored pistols, so should be all fine no matter what happens for NiP. Should be able to recover any little hiccups that pop up.
And Rez getting down secret relatively early into this round. It's got to feel powerful for NiP. And they've done a pretty good job in back-to-back rounds now of sort of dodging some of the opening spawn kills and giving ENCE chances on the lower weapons. No one offering up easy opportunities here on NiP.
No one offering up easy opportunities on ENCE in this round.
I don't know. I feel like the Zeus... I don't feel like this is the position. The kit doesn't have that range anymore, Jason. It feels like more often than not you're getting around 80 damage off the back of that.
Well, it certainly sucks when they come outdoor instead, but NiRFs is there. Double kill with the 5-7. Again, though, they should have the firepower to overcome any hiccups, and it's a good read. Senpai going to turn this corner. Easy one for S-Tag. He's got the bomb as well. Vladin, they know he's the ramp player, so likely looking towards heaven, likely looking towards lobby in a little bit. That kind of alarm bell inside your head is ringing.
All right, man. Vladin, what we got here? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's NiP into the lead, as expected, once they were going up against that purchase from ENCE, or lack thereof. And now we're going to get into the gun round. So this is now a story for ENCE to do what NiP did in the first half, which is recover. And that's the name of the game now for ENCE.
Well, I mean, if you're from the ENCE point of view, right, like this still isn't, like, from our perspective, it's like now they have to recover because of the streak. If you're ENCE, though, this is all just kind of like part of the game, right? You lost the pistol. It's always going to start out slow. Everything's gone pretty much exactly how it should. And now it's about not having the slow start on your CT side that NiP had. Don't let them run up that 6-0 scoreline on you.
Well, very similar smokes being thrown out by NiP that ENCE were showing us in the first half. There's triple smokes, including the main smoke. Playing a down vent at the moment from that CT perspective. It's giving Madden opening up and a kill on Maxter. Config, is there a response here? ENCE not applying pressure outside. Now they've got that, they're actually turtling up, playing a little bit more defensive.
NiP trying to activate Maxter out of the door smokes to swing through with a flashbang. Good defense from Madden to shut it down, so everything slows for NiP as they progress outside. 3 players and aligned by Redbox and on top of Mini.
1 minute left in this round.
They have no more smokes to use, NiP. They have nothing to cross. That's a sound cue that will be given up. Snappi will have heard that drop towards outside, so Senpai is going to be over towards the lockers with his AWP.
This has all the signs of a round of suffering for NiP. They cross into the scope, dry into Senpai, but the kill will not come in for the Spaniard. He'll go back and look outside again. Nothing there.
They do have nerds downstairs.
Look at the time though, Jason. 30 seconds. Bomb is still towards spawn.
Yeah, I don't really know what you do. S-Tag has flashes if they want to try and go towards the upper bomb site, but they haven't been given any openings. I think you might have to.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's enough time unless you immediately kill Vladin and get down in that B bomb site. So that's the call. And NiP are going for it. They're attempting it, but now you got to call it off.
No,
surely.
yeah.
10 seconds. They're still going. They're still running, and they're going to die. Unless Rez dives down immediately, he has enough time for a bomb plant. Just about, but denied by Nerds. So tied up. Strange round from NiP. The clock certainly wasn't their friend.
Yeah, I mean that's probably a couple of things, right? That's maybe like losing track of the time as a team. Obviously, you have the interim IGL, you have a stand-in as well. So a couple things maybe slowed that down as much as more than anything though. It was the fact that they had 3 players outside with no smokes. You get one across that ran the gauntlet on Sunpius without that utility, but you don't want to risk the other one. So it just takes way too long for NiP to readjust. And Nerds plays that perfectly. There's a number of fights he could have taken during that, but he knows the bomb timer, he knows that the round timer is low, so just waits.
Interesting T-smoke being thrown out there. Towards Silo, it looks like, or T-roof. Yeah, there we go. Theorycraft that one.
Ooh.
Smoke?
Okay, it filled in.
Yeah, it was like, going to be a deadly gap, and nearly still so. Sunpius is looking for a kill out towards the top of Silo. This time NiP actually committing more resources behind those smokes, but resources into Snappi, who's already got himself a secret. And it's the worst kept secret in Counter-Strike. Snappi has got himself a double, and perhaps the best kept secret here. Snappi's not letting them through. Yeah,
he's got the bomb down, and that player on top of Silo can do absolutely nothing to stop this.
Oh my goodness.
Snappi's going to get out. Well, that was one of the questions we had. How is he going to be able to handle the outside pressure against NiP, where previously it wasn't a team of this caliber? And let's say his first test, he passes it with flying colors.
And a lot more controlled than we've seen previously, obviously taking a more conscious approach to you're up against a higher level of opponent. Let's play more defensive inside a secret.
You have to save now.
Yeah, you definitely. There's no other option, right, for NiP.
Once again, you have no smokes to even cross over to secret to take out Snappi to get that bomb, even if you wanted to.
I wonder if that smoke was meant for main. It felt like they missed that smoke. It wasn't part of their execute this time, right? So they had it all 3 smokes towards outside in the previous round. I wonder if you can maybe get away with not using that main smoke, because we've seen NiP have the problem of not having enough utility into the late round. With those double smokes you do in front of main, in front of garage, you might not always need to throw in that main smoke, and you would have an extra piece of utility a little later in the round.
Well, this is back-to-back rounds as we're talking about the utility usage, because we said it would have to be sharp for NiP, where they haven't really gotten a lot of production off those utility resources they're putting outside. Same with the previous round, like that initial wall of smokes, not able to cross, not able to get positioning off of it. This one as well, they use those smokes, but Snappi shuts them down entirely. So all those smokes really aren't producing anything if you're NiP, and it's caused them to lose back-to-back rounds, basically by round time. 3rd time out used from NiP.
Yeah, it looked like they were really focusing sort of towards heaven and towards main. And that allowed Snappi, obviously, the chance with them looking the wrong way, focus on something else. And maybe it was a part and parcel because they missed that main smoke. They're worried about a player coming out of the edge of main and spamming them down. So works out, and they haven't even been punished by the AWP, but with the lack of solid utility coming in and being able to work with it properly. So you've got to imagine at some point, Sunpius' AWP is going to start ringing out too. I don't think he's got a kill in the second half yet with that. So he's had it a few times. It's just a matter of time before we see him erupt, I'm sure.
Hasn't really needed to do anything once these guns have come out. The riflers are handling business. Nertz is having a good game at 15 kills. Madden's up there as well with 13. We just saw Snappy's defense outside. So things going okay. This is ENCE's map pick, and we saw them work NiP in the first half tactically. Now in the second half as well, shutting down everything NiP want to do once the guns have come out for the CT side.
They don't have a whole lot of guns this time on the T side. They've only got 2 smokes available as well, and they've been deploying outside smokes immediately in pretty much all of these rounds. They're going to do that again, but it's just the cross smoke this time. So you don't have the 2 follow-up smokes to follow in with a standard execute towards outside.
Well, fortunately for them, if they want to just, eventually they'll just have to swing and take that fight or contact outside. Sunpius in big garage with the AWP, so their contact at distance towards lockers, towards heaven would be an AK-47.
Snappi just left at the wrong time as well.
Sunpius hears all these footsteps as well. He's calling the alarm bells.
Yeah, he's definitely calling Madden to try and step up from the stairway. Here he is, Madden with a first. Is there any more from Madden? He's calling for his teammates to come down and help him at this point because there is a lot of numbers down on this lower bomb site from the T side. Vladin and Madden.
And again, it's missing smoke. Snappi's over in ramp room, lines up a double, and now you've just got to go for it out the window.
You gotta feel good about this position from Vladin. Here's Madden, and that is 10. ENCE look good on the rotate down. All the essential information picked up by Sampaius on those sound cues, and they're able to adjust the setup.
That's why Snappi left. He just pushes Vladin down, just calls out Vladin, rotate down low, get into the bomb site below. I'll take ramp room. Really good cover, really good mobile shifting defense from ENCE. And that's a slaughter.
And it's actually broken NiP completely because they're not getting bomb plants. They're not even getting close to the sites in these rounds.
They're running out of resources to do things on like the second timing in the round, and part of that's because their opening moves have been negated a couple of times now by Snappi. Last round, it's a little bit more understandable with that kind of a scraped together buy around some saved weapons. You just aren't going to have the whole plethora of nades.
And Snappi getting the read on the economy is now more freed up towards outside. That helps. Vladin just holding down mouse one. It's a triple from Vladin, leaving Rez alone. Good double on the P250. Now he's got an M4. Will we give him a chance here? Will we give Rez a shot? He's got another one on Snappi. Nertz is close, and that reload is going to be the death sentence. Rez gets caught eventually, but there was starting to be a moment of magic there for Rez.
I know. Come on, Nertz. Give him a chance. After shots like that, give him a chance to build into it. Good shutdown. You've mentioned Sampaius' name quite a bit. Even that one rotating over. He's not prepared for the P250.
It's actually really impressive if ENCE get this victory in this fashion, and one of their best players doesn't have to deliver a good performance. You know, Vladin, good round here, obviously holding off the pistols, getting a triple. But really the most impactful player, both on T side and CT side, for the calls in the first half is Snappi, and now on the CT side, he's getting some crazy impact too.
Oh, now changing it up as well. He wants to apply the pressure. Lobby crunch, and Snappi's all the way. That nade is going to be great. Oh, the double nade as well, and a Molotov on top. S-Tag's in trouble. If that spreads, he'll go down, but Snappi extinguishes it and denies lobby access. A well-executed lobby crunch gives them a 4-on-3.
Now, deal with that one, S-Tag. You know, deal with this. Well, how do you get yourself out of this position?
Yeah, they're not giving him an easy game to call whatsoever.
Rez has got Secret. You got one smoke available on the back of Rez. Sampaius is going to go for that peek outside, has just detected S-Tag, and that's the kill. Sampaius locks it in, holding for the second, should be able to get it on Hetrick. If Hetrick is to peek, he's got Snappi covering off his other blind spot, which is confirmed to him, but a fantastic flashbang from Hetrick, allowing Rez to try and get one kill back. But he's traded immediately, and ENCE will recover this round. It's map points on Nuke.
Snappi's everywhere on this map. Secret, we've seen him outside, we've seen him rotate to ramp room.
He's thriving in this role of freedom.
Now we saw him push ramp room in towards radio, so he's just been everywhere. And just on top of that, like his individual aggressive playing right now, just the calling from ENCE has been so wonderful. As I mentioned a couple of times, they worked NiP's defense on the T side for the first 6 rounds, tactically outplayed them. Now on their defensive side, they're denying everything that NiP want to do. They can't get anything done on their first move, and it's making it a very hard map for S-Tag to work.
And the last tactical timeout used for NiP, they better have all of the answers inside of this one, otherwise this one will be done. Nuke is looking almost locked in for ENCE. And this is the buy you bring to the table. A MAC-10 for Hetrick, Galil's on a couple of players, and 2 AK-47s. Sparse in utility and a few players too. What's S-Tag's call heading into round 21? Perhaps a call of DJL as well. They'll look at ramp, they'll look to challenge Vladin. He's holding down, and this time a wild spray that will not connect a single kill. So that's a chance for NiP.
Yeah, this time he gets caught, just committed to the fight through the smoke. He might not have fully believed that it was going to be a ramp rush in that fashion. Madden has shifted down here, and he's had a great game as well.
Yeah, he's had his moments, and he's looking for another one. Looking to make up for that of Vladin's mistake on side of the ramp, and that is a double from Madden to draw it back. A 3v3. Bomb yet to go down for NiP, but you'd imagine this turns into a retake at some point. And Snappi's at the control room window.
Yeah, and Config's turned into an X factor with this low HP. He's just going for a crazy, crazy flank.
Snappi needs to be careful here. Hetrick looking to take him out. Snappy's got the warning shot. Sampaius detects Config. And a quick shot from the sniper.
There's that Galil. With an AK, he might get that kill.
Yeah, Snappi getting a couple of leg shots tagged to the knees. Here's that bomb plant coming in. flashes through the double doors. He's waiting on his teammates to get in a better position. Snappi's just drawing attention away. And NiP are not comfortable in planting that bomb at all. And it doesn't feel like they ever will be, because the bomb is gone, and so will NiP be gone of Nuke, unless Hetrick has a clutch up his sleeve. 30 seconds for the young Ukrainian to pull this one off. He goes to the vent. He might actually get a chance here on Snappi if he was to move a little further forward, but he has to think about the bomb plant because of the limited time. So he'll commit inside of the site. Decon is closed, and Hetrick is trying to fight. He's trying to pull a nurse into that duel, but he's not going to go for it. And now he's limited himself. He's put himself in such a difficult position. Taps again, but Nurse is just playing with it and allows the reposition of Snappi and toy with NiP here on Nuke. A solid calling performance and individual performance from Snappi, and ENCE have the first map of the quarterfinals.
Yeah, that's a better look at ENCE than what we got in the group stage. The time off has done wonders for them. Vladen looked really solid as well over towards ramp room and on the T side on his individual.